In the journey of life, we face countless challenges and experiences that, in one way or another, transform and shape us as unique individuals. Each obstacle and each experience leaves an indelible mark on our being and helps to form our identity. But what more valuable resource could we have to guide us on this path than the wise teachings of the ancient philosophers? I invite you to stay until the end, where you will discover valuable lessons to strengthen all your projects in the face of any adversity. If it is your first time on my channel, I would appreciate it if you subscribed and liked the video. This way, I can continue creating more content like this in the future. Join us on this journey of discovery as we explore the fundamental ideas that the ancient philosophers have left us. Ideas that remain essential to face the challenges of life and find true fulfillment and happiness. These are the life lessons from the ancient philosophers that you should know before embarking on your own journey towards maturity and wisdom. The courage to be means accepting oneself even when one feels unacceptable. Health is undoubtedly the greatest treasure of life. A healthy beggar is happier than a sick king. Hope, in reality, can be the worst of evils because it prolongs man's torments. Only you can build the bridge over which you must cross the river of life. No one else can do it for you. Willpower is to the mind what a strong, blind man is to a crippled man who can see. Sleep is the interest we must pay on the capital called life. And the higher the interest rate and the more regularly it is paid, the more the redemption date is postponed. Reduce your sensitivities so that life hurts you as little as possible. Dedicate your time to improving yourself through the writings of others so that you can easily gain what others have worked hard for. Be careful who you surround yourself with. It is human to imitate the habits of those we interact with. We inadvertently adopt their interests, opinions, values, and their way of interpreting events. In old age, we all regret not having overcome laziness within ourselves. When we talk senselessly about trivial things, we ourselves become trivial because our attention is focused on trivialities. You become what you pay attention to. In anger, we must refrain from both speaking and acting. The most courageous vision of the world is to see a noble person struggling against adversity. Choose not to feel harmed, and you will not feel harmed. Do not feel wrong, and you have not been wronged. Focus on the present. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. Do not give yourself up to dreams of having what you do not have, but value the main blessings you possess and remember with gratitude how you would wish for them if they were not yours. Sometimes you must yield to win, and sometimes keeping a low profile leads to victory. Excessive pride brings disaster. The superior person is modest in speech but excels in action. Strive to treat others as you would like to be treated, and you will find that this is the shortest path to benevolence. Longing is the agony of the near, but unattainable. He who has not tasted the bitter does not deserve the sweet. Nothing is so difficult as not deceiving oneself. One cannot think properly without being willing to confront oneself. People generally know what they do and why they do it, but they do not always understand the implications of their actions. Where there is power, there will always be resistance. Do not think that it is necessary to be sad to be combative, even though the cause you face is terrible. The sad reality is that most evils are perpetrated by people who never decide to be either good or evil. Forgiveness is essential for action and freedom. To love is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart may be hurt and even broken. If you want to protect your heart at all costs, you must not give it to anyone, not even an animal. Crying is fine for a while, but sooner or later, you must stop and decide what to do next. I have learned that while those who speak of miseries often hurt those who remain silent, silence hurts them even more. A proud man always looks down on things and people, and, of course, while you are looking down, you cannot see what is above you. Malicious words can hurt your feelings, but silence can break your heart. An intelligent person never gives a second chance in 3 situations: when trust is broken, when love is not valued, and when time is wasted. Recognizing these as the most valuable resources in life Pride does not enjoy having something, but having more of it than others. It is comparison that fuels pride, the pleasure of being above others. Once the competition disappears, pride fades away. True abundance belongs to those who do not desire more than they have. Avoiding pain at all costs can only be achieved at the expense of total detachment, which also excludes the ability to experience happiness. The main task of a human being is to give life to oneself, to become what one can potentially be. The most important product of one's effort is one's own personality. Life has no other meaning than what a man gives it by developing himself. I have learned that if one advances confidently towards their dreams and strives to live the life they have imagined, they will find unexpected success in everyday life. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Do not be immoral. You might deprive yourself of many experiences in life. Do not just be good for something. Our life gets complicated by details. Simplify them. It is not life that changes. It is us. It is never too late to abandon your prejudices. The heart has its reasons that reason does not understand. People almost always form their beliefs based on what is attractive to them, not on evidence. An intelligent person does not show emotions in three situations: when facing ignorance, during personal success, and in moments of deep disappointment. You will always admire what you do not really understand. Do you want people to think well of you? Do not speak well of yourself. In distractions, we find comfort for our miseries, and yet they are our greatest misery. A person must dream to find the meaning of life. Judge a man by his questions rather than by his answers. Life is a shipwreck, but we must not forget to sing in the lifeboats. Value those who seek the truth, but be wary of those who claim to have found it. He who knows how to be poor knows everything. You will never be happy if you keep searching for what happiness consists of. You will never live if you keep looking for the meaning of life. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your mere existence is an act of rebellion. To be happy, we must not worry too much about others. To understand the world, sometimes one must step away from it. People rush to judge to avoid being judged. You can never experience everything, so please do justice to your soul and experience yourself. Without work, all life rots, but when work lacks soul, life suffocates and dies. If a man begins with certainty, he will end in doubts. But if he is content to begin with doubts, he will end in certainty. Hope is a good breakfast, but a bad dinner. For the light to shine brightly, darkness must be present. It is impossible to love and be wise. There is no comparison between what is lost by not succeeding and what is lost by not trying. We're like chameleons. We take our color and moral character from those around us. No one's knowledge can go beyond their experience. What worries you controls you. The most valuable possession is power over oneself. Bad men need nothing more to achieve their ends than that good men should look on and do nothing. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires rather than attempting to satisfy them. Happy is he whose circumstances suit his temper, but more excellent is he who can suit his temper to his circumstances. The first thing you must know is yourself. A man who knows himself can step outside himself and observe his own reactions as an observer. Never lament what you can change. Problems worth addressing prove their worth by resisting. Life is short and tumultuous for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. If lived well, life is long enough. He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. True happiness is enjoying the present without constant anxiety for the future. A mind preoccupied with the future is an unhappy mind. All cruelty comes from weakness. We often fear more than necessary and suffer more from our imagination than from reality. We fall in love when we idealize another person, but when the fantasy fades, so does the love. Only those who dare the absurd can achieve the impossible. My soul is my greatest challenge. Sometimes it collaborates with me, and sometimes it contradicts me. Women desire love not for their beauty, kindness, education, or intelligence, but for who they are. Time is merely the space between our memories. When we lose track of this space, time disappears. Love ceases to be an obsession when it ceases to be an idol. Sharing our weaknesses and difficulties is more enriching for others than boasting of our qualities and successes. Many people talk a lot but do little. Others do much but speak little. It is the latter who make a community prosper. When we love and respect others, we allow them to come out of their protective shell. People cannot accept their own evil until they feel love, respect, and trust. If your path is clear, you're probably following someone else's. What irritates us about others often reveals something about ourselves. Happy life cannot exist without a little darkness. Happiness would lose its meaning without sadness. Difficulties are necessary for mental health. Loneliness does not come from lack of company, but from the inability to express what is important to oneself or hold opinions that others reject. Life truly begins at 40. Before that, you're just exploring. Life's biggest problems are unsolvable. They cannot be solved, only overcome. Man can find meaning even in the toughest trials. The real challenge is to create that meaning. Do not cling to those who leave, for you may miss the opportunity to meet those who come. Doubt is part of faith. Listening is love's first duty. The courage to be means accepting oneself despite one's flaws. Health is the greatest treasure. A healthy beggar is happier than a sick king. Keep calm and see things clearly. Friction polishes gems, and trials strengthen man. Our plans fail when they lack purpose. If you don't know where you're going, no wind is favorable. True power is self-control. Beware of those who urge action, but do not take risks. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as work strengthens the body. Remember, just because something seems difficult doesn't mean it's impossible. Consider that you have already lived your life and act accordingly. Seize what remains and live it fully. Nowhere does man find a more serene refuge than in his own soul. Bear in mind, an honest man harbors fewer suspicions toward others. A petty mind always presumes the lowest motives for noble acts. Before pointing out the mistakes of others, reflect on your own faults. Refuse to feel offended and the offense will disappear. Time, words, and lost opportunities do not return. Do not waste time. Choose your words wisely, and do not let opportunities slip away. A healthy man craves 1,000 things, a sick one only one. Opportunities grow when seized. No matter how slowly you progress, as long as you do not stop. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, that is another mistake. Seek your own imperfections instead of pointing out those of others. Silence is a faithful friend that never betrays. What the superior man seeks is within himself. What the petty man seeks is in others. Being deeply loved gives you strength. Loving deeply gives you courage. Life is change. Do not resist it, for that only brings sadness. Accept reality and let things flow naturally. Respond with intelligence even in the absence of it. Act unexpectedly. Do not allow someone to consider you their priority while you are merely an option. Truth does not require memory. Do something every day that you do not want to do. It is the key to fulfilling your responsibilities. Do not reveal the truth to those who do not deserve it. All you need is ignorance and confidence to succeed. Love can turn into hatred when frustrated. The harder the struggle, the more glorious the triumph. What is obtained easily is valued little. Honor those who endure in adversity and find strength in affliction. He who dares not offend cannot be honest. It is easier to maintain character than to regain it. End each day and leave it behind. Tomorrow is a new opportunity to start afresh. The purpose of life is to make a difference and live well. Dare to pursue your dreams and make them reality. Action is key to happiness. The art of wisdom lies in knowing what to ignore. The greatest discovery is that we can change our lives by changing our attitude. Fear not living. Believe that life is worthwhile, and so it shall be. Spending life on something greater is its best use. Our worldview is determined by what we choose to see. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Love conquers hate. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Those who do not seek happiness are the most likely to find it. Doubt at least once in your life to find truth. Freedom lies in how we respond to what happens to us. Stress often appears at inconvenient moments for our activities. Every expression has an impact, even silence. Those who reflect before making promises tend to be more reliable. Human freedom is often limited by their own actions. Those who seek to dominate others often become slaves to their own ambitions. The unknown can hinder our plans, but it can also be the path to new opportunities. True revenge lies in being different from those who have harmed us. We must free our minds from selfish impulses and embrace the present with confidence and the support of our friends. Sometimes, silence communicates more than words. Let's face criticism with achievements. Youth sees the future as an infinite horizon, while old age perceives it as a fleeting past. True wisdom lies in keeping certain weaknesses, fountains of knowledge, and aspiration to oneself. Often, losses transform into unexpected new opportunities. Depression, like a gloomy visitor, should be welcomed and listened to attentively. Contributing positively is the best way to change the world. Blaming nature and fate is to ignore our own responsibility in the outcomes of our lives. Life consists of decisions and our aspiration towards the future. Money is a useful servant, but a poor master. Wisdom is manifested more in the moderation of words than in their abundance. Let's face what we fear, thus avoiding unnecessary distress. Focusing on what we can control is the key to happiness. The true conquest is the conquest of oneself. Let's not form hasty judgments about others to avoid disappointments. True personal growth arises from overcoming our most intense passions. Happiness multiplies when shared. We should not attach too much importance to others' opinions. Often, the best way to unmask a lie is to pretend to believe it. Our prayers change ourselves, and we, in turn, change the world. Happiness is found in having something to do, someone to love, and something to hope for. True love always finds its way. True wealth resides in our ability to give. Spiritual people find in adversities the greatest teachings about life. Youth often overestimates its happiness or unhappiness. Evil cannot find solace in solitude. Ignorance often prevents us from recognizing our own happiness. Kindness makes us more tolerant of others. The future moves slowly. The present is fleeting, and the past is eternal. Intelligence seeks peace and tranquility, avoiding unnecessary noise. Health is the greatest wealth. True freedom is found in the ability to be alone with oneself. Honesty with oneself is essential. Love makes us vulnerable, but it also makes us human. Virtue resides in the dreams of good men. True love finds its root in mutual acceptance of weakness. Wisdom comes from learning from everything and everyone. Circumstances do not define the person, they only reveal them. Happiness resides within us, not outside. The right question often surpasses the correct answer. No individual crosses the same river twice, for neither the river nor they are the same. Personal security involves avoiding certain aspects of life. Let's choose to avoid idle gossip and minor conflicts, preferring to cultivate understanding and promote harmony. Modesty is a sign of strength. Those capable of great deeds remain silent. We should look forward, for there are better things to come than what we leave behind. Silence can be more damaging than an unspoken word. Once expressed, love binds us, and our actions and words do matter. Let's not let our misfortunes consume us. It is in perspective that we find power. On our deathbed, we will regret not having loved enough and not having traveled far enough. Worrying about others' opinions is self-imposed imprisonment. Let things clarify themselves. In the meantime, let's find joy in chaos and live for the moments, knowing that everything has a purpose. Problem solving is not about obtaining new information, but organizing what we already know. True wisdom lies in knowing when to fight and when to surrender. Happiness lies in good health and forgetting sorrows outside our thoughts. Little is under our control. Let's keep others' secrets and avoid sharing our own. Time gives what reason cannot. Let's minimize others' ambitions but seek those that inspire us to be great. Only time reveals the true nature of things. Loyalty is keeping others' secrets, and prudence is sharing our own. Let's show more authenticity than concern for what others think. Finding purpose makes us capable of overcoming any challenge. Luck is the convergence of preparation and opportunity. Let's not postpone life, for it slips away while we do. True strength is shown in the midst of adversity. Let's conquer ourselves before the world. Occupation sharpens our perception of life. Kind words have a great impact. Let's not look too far. The truth is often closer than we think. Growth comes from effort and willingness to face pain and anxiety. Adventures may not be fun at the moment, but they are valuable. It's not necessary to define ourselves completely. Life continuously shapes us. The essence of life lies in constant change. The real problem this solves is how we view and approach life. By possessing something we cannot give away, we become slaves to it. Fear and duty are intrinsically linked. By facing fear, we fulfill our primary task in life, which is learning to live fully. The key lies in using suffering as a tool for personal growth. Lack of inner life imprisons us within our surroundings, but by breaking down difficulties into manageable parts, we can solve them. Dwelling in the past prevents us from fully living in the present. A true friend is one who points out our faults in private. Discipline can tame even the darkest tendencies of the human heart. Life is never so insignificant as to be abandoned. Repressed emotions eventually emerge in destructive ways. Aging is a privilege. To see the world differently, we must be willing to change our perspective and leave fear behind. We should not allow the past to define us, but rather learn and grow from it. Revenge only lowers us to the level of our enemies, while forgiveness elevates us above them. Even in the midst of chaos, there are opportunities. True strength lies in understanding that we have power over our minds. Living in the past or the future deprives us of the present. Authenticity is the greatest achievement in a world that constantly pressures us to be something we are not. The most valuable lessons often come from difficult times. Health requires sacrifice and effort. Life is now. Everything else is past or unknown future. We should not muddle an apology with excuses. Education goes beyond what we learn in school. True wealth lies not in what we possess, but in our ability to appreciate what we have. The journey to success begins with a single step. Fear only exists in the mind. Inspiration must be actively sought. Our legacy lives in the memories of those we leave behind. Procrastination steals valuable time. Success and failure are part of a continuous learning process. Time is a valuable resource that we must make the most of. Critical thinking is an invaluable skill. We do not need to seek approval from others. Sometimes, silence is the best response. Courage to continue is what truly matters. Time is a powerful tool if we know how to use it. Perseverance is key to achieving our goals. Self-confidence is fundamental to success. Truth is an invaluable resource. Experience is our best teacher. Our reaction to a situation determines our behavior. School teaches us many things, but some lessons are only learned outside of it. The way we see the world reflects our unique perspective. A happy marriage is based on ongoing and enriching conversation. Those who provoke anger in us can be our best teachers, as long as we don't allow them to disturb us. The willingness to try is the key to overcoming challenges. Time perception varies according to our attention. The concept that happiness depends on someone else is absurd. Focusing on the present frees us from anxiety about the future. Words have profound power. They must be used wisely. Discipline brings us true freedom. Often, our biggest liars are our own fears. Appearance doesn't always reflect reality. Compassion is essential, as we all face internal battles. Hatred only perpetuates darkness in the world. Valuing what we have is fundamental to personal satisfaction. Life is an experience, not a puzzle to solve. The ability to communicate without creating conflicts is a virtue. Harmony surpasses balance. Living fully involves embracing every moment with gratitude. Wisdom is acquired by learning from others' mistakes. Helping others also benefits us. Authenticity and happiness go hand in hand. Silence is often more powerful than hurtful words. True strength lies in maintaining composure in various situations. Understanding precedes genuine admiration. Modesty is more effective than self-glorification. Distraction can be a temporary relief, but also a trap. Dreams help us find purpose in life. The future offers endless opportunities for growth and prosperity. Planning is essential to achieve concrete goals. The present is fleeting. The past is eternal. Knowledge frees us from the chains of ignorance. Control over the present influences the past and the future. Showing vulnerability at opportune moments can be strategic. Time management is crucial for productivity. Taking notes helps us remember what is important. Our actions have consequences. We must choose them wisely. Suffering unnecessarily only prolongs the pain. Education is an invaluable tool for transforming the world. The fear of death increases as wealth grows. Those who betray trust lose it irreparably. Life is not destined us for perfection. Those who belong in museums. Worry claims more victims than work, as there are more warriors than workers. What happens before death is what truly matters. It's better not to offer excuses than to give bad explanations. Men yearn to be a woman's first love, while women prefer to be a man's last romance. Sometimes, the truth is hard to accept because it challenges our illusions. If you want to change others, start with yourself. It's more productive and less risky. The ability to forget is a sign of sanity. The secret of success lies in doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Laws are like spider webs. They catch flies but let wasps through. Your enemies can kill you, but only your friends can hurt you. Never close your lips to those to whom you have opened your heart. Don't postpone overcoming bad habits. Do it today, not tomorrow. To lead others, you must first follow them. The early bird gets the reward, the second only the shell. It's preferable to make an approximate decision than to make an exact mistake. Our actions will resonate throughout eternity. If you can't do great things, do small things with great excellence. Don't wait for the right opportunity. Create it yourself. People tend to believe what they wish to believe. The meaning of life is to give it meaning. We can hide memories, but not the history that created them. The rules for happiness: something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. A true woman loves a strong man, protecting him as much as she is protected. Nature gave us one tongue and two ears so that we listen twice as much as we speak. True happiness consists of enjoying the present without worrying about the future. Let's not be swayed by hopes or fears. What we have is enough to be content. Whoever feels this way desires nothing more. The greatest blessings are within us and attainable. A wise man accepts his fate and does not long for what he does not have. Why not affirm that life is happy? Having a mind free from fears and desires, where virtue is the only good and evil the only bad. Everything else is insignificant, not affecting our happiness. Such a mind is filled with constant joy, finding delight in itself. When someone offends us, let's understand their perspective on good and evil and feel compassion. If we share the perspective, let's forgive. Otherwise, let's overlook their faults. True wealth lies in having few desires, not in accumulating possessions. Don't just define your philosophy, act according to it. Don't let anyone control you. They can only upset you if you allow it. Circumstances don't define who we are. They only reveal our true nature. Don't expect events to happen according to your wish. Accept what happens and you will be at peace. I have entrusted myself to God. No individual is truly free unless they maintain control over their own will and own their actions and decisions. It is essential to live in a way that happiness is not tied to external factors, but emanates from authenticity and inner harmony. The true greatness of a person is reflected in their righteousness and integrity, rather than mere appearance. In tune with nature and its cycles. True wealth does not reside in others' opinions but in personal connection with the essence of life. Cruelty and disdain for others arise from weakness and lack of understanding. The ability to enjoy one's own time and company is a sign of mental strength and inner balance. A genuine gift is not measured by its material value, but by the sincere intention behind it. Our actions reveal our priorities and values. We live as if immortal when we chase our desires, but as mortals when we fear. The lack of a clear purpose in life is like a ship without a course. Regardless of favorable external circumstances, awareness of our own fragility and the fleetingness of time should guide us to use each moment wisely and with dedication. Our thoughts and attitudes shape our perception of the world and our life experience. Focusing on justice and personal righteousness is more valuable than constantly comparing ourselves to others. Anticipating daily challenges prepares us to face them with serenity and determination. Recognizing shared humanity in all beings frees us from resentment and discord, fostering understanding and empathy. External criticism only affects us if we allow it to. It is our choice how to react to it. Accepting the reality of the world around us empowers us to change what is within our control and work to improve it. Practicing empathy helps us understand the motivations behind others' actions and cultivate more harmonious relationships. The constant pursuit of comfort and avoidance of difficulties can limit our personal growth and our ability to adapt to adversity. Accepting challenges and learning to deal with them strengthens us and makes us more resilient. On the journey of life, in our daily lives, we often distance ourselves from the idea of death, sometimes thinking it's something that happens only to others or is reserved for a distant future. However, the truth is that death is an inevitable and constant aspect of existence. Today could be your last day in this world. Keeping this fact in mind brings deep gratitude for the little things in life, reminding us that every experience could be the last. From the whisper of the wind, through the leaves to the taste of a good meal or the company of our loved ones. For Stoics, this practice is known as memento mori, which involves remembering death as a constant reminder of the finitude of life. The very essence of life is change. From the earliest moments of the universe, the simplest elements came together to form celestial bodies and eventually life itself. Our bodies are simply an ephemeral part of this endless cycle of birth and death. True progress in life is not always found in great achievements or the accumulation of material goods, but in the small daily changes in our habits and attitudes. Getting up a little earlier, dedicating time to meaningful activities, or simply being more present in our daily interactions can greatly contribute to our long-term happiness. It's important to find a balance between looking to the future and reflecting on the past. While it's necessary to plan and prepare for the future, we shouldn't lose sight of the present, where we truly experience life. Similarly, learning from the past is valuable, but we shouldn't let past experiences prevent us from enjoying the present moment. When the time comes to face death, as it inevitably will, the time and place will be beyond our control. The only thing we can control is how we choose to live our lives while we are here. I'm not trying to minimize the pain or sadness you may experience at loss, but we must accept that death is a natural part of life and we cannot change its course. With our suffering, it's important not to succumb to despair and sadness, but to take the helm of our lives and face the future with courage and determination, even when the waves of adversity threaten to overwhelm us. Ultimately, what matters is not how our journey ends, but how we choose to navigate it while we are here. An insightful individual understands the importance of maintaining composure in three key situations: when faced with ignorance, during personal achievements, and in moments of profound disappointment. Admiration for the unknown is a constant human trait. We desire to be well regarded by others, yet praising our own virtues is rarely effective. Distraction, though comforting, can be our greatest downfall. Dreams allow us to explore the meaning of life. The future always holds opportunities superior to those left behind. Each day is an opportunity for rebirth. What we do today is what truly matters. Within yourself, you will find the best refuge. Before speaking, it's essential to question the truthfulness, necessity, and kindness of our words. Ultimately, we are responsible for our own salvation and must follow our own path. The key to health, both physical and mental, lies in living wisely and earnestly in the present. Personal growth is a gradual and cumulative process, much like filling a vessel drop by drop. Discipline is the key to an obedient mind, while indiscipline leads to disobedience. At times, we must walk alone on our spiritual path. Inner peace is intrinsic and cannot be found outside ourselves. Compassion for all beings, regardless of their social standing, is fundamental, including ourselves. Love is the only force that can dispel hatred. Our unguarded thoughts can be our greatest source of pain. Divisions are creations of the human mind. They do not exist in ultimate reality. The need to care for others reflects our own need for care. Humanity is renewed through generosity, kind words, and compassionate service. Wisdom is attained both by adding and subtracting, and often manifests in the serenity of silence. Transformative action surpasses mere contemplation. When you came into the world, your cries resonated while the world celebrated. Live your life in such a way that when you leave, the world mourns and you bid farewell with joy. Over time, struggles will be remembered as the most precious moments. Where your fear lies, there lies your unfinished task. Those who resist love the most are the ones who need it the most. If you can visualize it, you can achieve it. Do not seek external approval, seek internal recognition for doing your best. Sometimes, it is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and dispel any doubt. Neither success is permanent nor failure is fatal. What is truly valuable is having the courage to move forward. Time is sufficient for those who use it wisely. Thinking is hard work, which is why so few engage in it. Do the best you can with what you have and where you are. Often, we worry more about others' opinions than our own convictions. Let us celebrate each day and give thanks, for even if we have not learned much, we have gained some experience. Our reality is shaped by our thoughts. Therefore, it is vital to cultivate positive thoughts. Attachment to resentment only harms ourselves. Do not let the future disturb your mental peace. You will face challenges with the same resilience with which you face the present. Every moment we dedicate to someone is an irretrievable part of our life that we offer them. Fiction can be the most authentic way to reveal truth. Instead of envying others' qualities, let us learn from them. Worrying will not add a single second to our lives. We do not need many words to express much. Excellence requires action, not just words. The secret of genius lies in preserving the spirit of a child, keeping the flame of enthusiasm alive over the years. Knowing oneself is the first step toward wisdom. Hard work and dedication are necessary to achieve great accomplishments. There is no greater joy than bringing happiness to others. We stop fearing the monsters under the bed when we realize they reside within us. People with good hearts do not need to be compelled by laws to act responsibly, while those with bad intentions always find ways to evade established norms. What one may call God, another simply refers to as the laws of physics. Death, in reality, does not concern us. When we exist, death is not present, and when it arrives, we are no longer here. Often, we learn from history that very few learn from it. Genuine love begins when nothing is expected in return. Those who do not take risks need not expect any reward. Every situation has multiple perspectives. Winners in battle first win in their minds and then on the battlefield, while the defeated plunge into war without a defined strategy. Appreciate your enemies, for they reveal your areas for improvement. It is wise to doubt what you hear and question even what you see. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. If a man is not clear about his direction, no wind will be favorable to him. Often, it is more effective to lead from behind and let others believe they are ahead. Wealth and fame are like seawater. The more we consume, the thirstier we become. When a woman is angry, it indicates that she not only is wrong, but also acknowledges it. Love is an irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. Learning to let go is as valuable a lesson as learning to acquire. True men despise battle but never flee from it. We live in an era where our needs seem to be unnecessary things. Purpose is what grants strength to survive. Knowledge is power only when applied. Sometimes, all it takes is a little push to attain happiness. By getting angry, you only harm yourself for others' mistakes. Anyone can make mistakes, but only fools persist in them. Answers are not always obtained by asking questions, and the truth is not always heard. It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. True wealth lies in contentment with what one has. Sometimes, victory is defined by a small difference. The shortest distance between two points can be painful. Courage is facing fear and not letting it dominate you. Acting is more productive than merely expressing gratitude. Truth does not need many words to be expressed. Before diagnosing yourself with depression or low self-esteem, consider that perhaps you are only surrounded by people who do not understand you. Thinking requires effort, and many prefer to judge rather than reflect. Even in adversity, the wise can maintain their strength. Impactful experiences may affect us, but it is our reaction that defines our inner strength. If you enjoyed our video, please give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment so that YouTube knows that these types of videos help people. This way, we can continue creating more videos and providing thousands more in the future.